things that have been clandestinely
So
done
people,
through
you're
the
you're
military.
basically making the point that those who think that there's an extraterrestrial crafts and beings that are abducting people, they are mistaken to think that those are
Exactly.
anything but military operations.
And they will, and there's some that will absolutely be in total denial from the information I'm given, and still insist that they were abducted by aliens and stuff and probed and all that stuff.
Right.
And I tell them, if that's what you want to believe, then go ahead, believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, it doesn't happen. It's not happening. That's not it. That's not what you were. I'm not saying the event didn't happen to them.
Right.
How they described it. I'm just telling them that what they thought it was is not what it is.
You're really speaking more towards the abduction phenomenon,
Mm-hmm.
because the people that I'm reading and following, they are contactees of extraterrestrial races, but it never has anything to do with abduction or testing. It has more to do with the spiritual progression of Earth to help people wake up and help people.
Well, I'll be honest with you and all that. I'm not even going to talk about that stuff and all that, because I have never experienced that.
Well,
I don't believe in that kind of stuff and all that. And I've lived quite a long time now and everything, and I have never seen anything to the contrary. That, to me, a lot of that stuff that you're talking about is stuff that has been, it's like a domino effect. When somebody tells a story about some fantastic thing and all that, and then you get a branch of people coming up with all kinds of different stories, and all it does is confuse people. That's what's happening with that. When the UFO thing, disinformation stuff came out by the military to make people think the alien story and all that stuff, and of course they make it sound like, oh no, we don't think there's nothing visiting us, and they at the same time they're sending the information out, they're denying that it even exists.
it's like a psychological warfare.
It's a thing where they have it balanced to where they got everybody thinking that these UFOs and stuff are alien from outer space and all that stuff and everything. That's what they want them to think, and they did a good job of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. So what you have is two kinds of people out here. One that just tells you the experience that they had, what they've seen, and they don't make any real evaluation of it. They just say, this happened to me. And then you got people that are coming up with bullshit stories. They're
making
nuts.
things up in
they're
their head.
nuts, and they're mystical, and they don't believe in God and all that, and they're atheists and everything. So they come up with these crazy stories and everything, and they make it sound so believable because they believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, that people start saying, man, maybe that's it, or maybe that could be it and everything. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They're just trying to get somebody to notice them, or they're trying to sell a book, or they're trying to do something, but other than tell you the truth or what's really happening and everything. And the story's made up. It's made up and everything. So, and that's all right. That's what makes the world creative and interesting and all that. Is there's all kinds of people out there. I'm not condemning them, or I'm not telling them don't do it and all that. But but they're really confusing people that really want the truth about what's going on and everything, and why it seems like no matter what people do here in the country, they can't get the government to do what they're supposed to do by the people. The people are the ones that are supposed to be in charge, telling the government what to do, and they haven't been for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that.
And the reason is exactly what I've been explaining to you from the get-go.
Is that they are secretly preparing for
an event that will make it obsolete if the right people, if enough people don't know about it, they will not survive.
So, can you talk a little bit more about the year that you spent in these underground tunnels and what you physically
basically
witnessed?
loading up ships and all that, and had the machinery that we had to do it with, made it effortless. They had, like, you know, let's say, here's a good example. Like if you were in a warehouse where you're loading trucks up or something like that, you have stuff that is still of this man-made era and all that, wheeled carts and pallet jacks and stuff like that and everything, to where it's hard work to push stuff around and load stuff up in a truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had stuff down there that was developed from the technology they got, everything where it just no gravity.
Anti-gravitic.
Yeah, you just floated. You just push it with your finger and all that, and it just moved and effortlessly. You could whistle and smoke a cigarette and all that, and just push it around and stuff. That stuff was fascinating to me.
Wow.
And everything. As far as lifting it up and putting it into a compartment and everything, you just take it, like that and just go like that and put it in and everything, and the machine just slid it into its compartment and then it locked it up and everything, and that was it, and you went on to get some more stuff. That's basically what we were doing, when we were loading stuff up. And those triangular ships they have compartments in them on either side, and the reason why that they're triangular shape is they get more room and have more room for you to get in there and put the stuff and load it up and everything.
Do you know what the cargo was?
It was different things, but they would never let us know what was in it. We saw some things that we were able to get an idea of some of the things they were loading up in there. Basically, they were supplies for the base on the moon and everything. They were stuff that could be preserved and everything,
food,
to bring back and everything, and stuff.
So
seed, freeze-dried stuff, you know.
So this is stuff that would they would be able to have after the event.
After the event, so they could
that
survive.
Those who were preserved would be able to live on Earth.
Yes, continue
and
on.
Procreate.
Go turn around and bring it right on back and all that, and repopulate
So these people really wanted to become God on Earth by.
Well, I think they've done it so far, haven't they?
They've gotten us all to worship their money, and
they got us working and making all the money and putting it in there and letting them do whatever they want with it.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned before that there were people in Hollywood and politicians
working with them. That's why they want to keep things going and all the way it is.
So you're really talking about the New World Order, where
they're already in place.
The New World Order is here, and the
Reagan turned the country over and all that to the UN and everything when he was in office. The last term he was in, he already turned it over. We're under control of the United Nations and everything.
You're right, and actually
this isn't the United States anymore, although the name's still there.
Well, you know, we
But there's certain countries that are obsolete from the system. The main countries that are in control of this project and everything are Russia, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
United States, okay, Germany, because something happened with Germany and everything that we got a few scientists out of there during World War II that helped us out and everything in '47. So that's another story altogether and everything. But this thing is very complex. But the information's out there. It's just the stuff I'm talking about is pieces of the puzzle that nobody could finish the puzzle to know what the whole truth is. That's what I'm talking about here. But China, I said United States, Russia, these are the basic, and Germany and China. The rest of them, piss on them. And the reason why is because